Most success comes from previous mistakes made and lessons learned. In my previous video, I talked about how I was trying to win a potential new customer based on the things that they said to me and the words that they used and just my own inflation of things, trying to grow my company. And just, a lot of it is my own fault because I didn't charge enough, because again, I was hoping to be fair but win the customer instead of just focusing on that one job, doing that one job well at the price that that one job is worth, and then move on from there, win the customer that way, and hope that going forward they can become a regular client of mine, and then price accordingly. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it at the end of this video so you can go check that out. But because I was at that property and because it was a Saturday, there was more people out and about walking around their home, they're doing whatever, versus during the week when a lot more people are working. So there's people able to see myself, to see me working, to see my trailer and my company logo. And one person walked up to me and asked me to take a look at their property in another neighborhood, that there's a path that connects the two neighborhoods, and that's why they were over here walking. They were in that neighborhood walking. And I went ahead and gave them a quote earlier that next week, and they want me to take care of their lawn. Also, another person called me because they saw me out there working, and they're 2 houses down from that house. So I did pick up, even though I didn't pick up that property that I was working at the time, I did pick up another property 2 houses down. So that's 2 properties, 2 for 1 special. So even though I felt like I know I lost money on that one job, and I felt like I was taken advantage of, and so on and so forth. Yes, a lot of it was my fault as well, but ultimately it was a win, because even though it was a loss for that customer, I picked up 2 new customers. So obviously, I don't advise intentionally making mistakes, but it's just something to think about and look forward to. In the negative feelings that sometimes accompany mistakes being made, you can know that there's going to be other opportunities that are going to come your way if you do things the right way, if you do a good job and so on, if you handle yourself properly and professionally, other doors will open. So there's at least some peace of mind thinking that way, that as long as you learn from this lesson, there will be other opportunities. In addition to that, just recently, and the most challenging, very specific to the last video's customer, someone else just recently contacted me in a neighborhood that I'm already in with several houses, and they said they see me in the neighborhood and they just want me to give them a quote. Their husband used to take care of their, used to push mow their own yard, but he's traveling a lot, so he just told her to find someone else to do it. So she wanted me to come out and take a look, and again, the whole thing, rushing me, wanting to know if I can get it done like today, and all, and like her, rush, if the price is right, and all this, all that kind of stuff. And if we could just do a one-time service, and then potentially she'll ask me to do other services down the road. So all kinds of red flags there, right? All kinds of red flags. And then when I actually, so I didn't answer any of those questions until I actually went and took a look, which was right after I got off the phone with her. I said, you know what, I just happen to be in this neighborhood. I'll swing by as soon as I'm done, then I'll let you know. So as soon as I went there, I could tell right away that it was super overgrown, which kind of sounded that way from the things that she was talking about. Who knows how long her husband's been traveling, I don't know, but she didn't say that, but I just had a feeling that the yard was gonna be overgrown, so it was. And not only that, but it's the biggest yard that I've seen in this neighborhood. It's very deceiving. And when we actually took care of the yard several days later, the guys that I had working with me that morning were like, wow, this is a really big backyard. And I'm like, yeah, you would never know that unless you actually physically walk down to the backyard and see that it just opens up this whole another world. I mean, it's beautiful for like, owning that, for the homeowner's perspective. You have all that property, but I mean, it's real quick and easy to just say, oh yeah, you're in this neighborhood, all the other houses on the street are blank, and that's it. But I specifically wanted to see if it was overgrown, like what condition was this property in. And two, I really want to do it the right way and see the property, go back home, go on my software, measure the property, get the exact square footage or close to it, so I could actually apply the right rate for that square footage, which is how I calculate my yards. I have a matrix of pricing based on my square footage. So in doing all those things, their price would be a lot more than the rest of the houses that I do in that neighborhood, because her property is almost twice as big. So good thing I checked all that, because now I have the right price instead of just throwing out the average price, the average going rate. So that's something that I don't normally do anyway, but based on that price, I basically doubled what the weekly rate would be, which would make up for the time that it was going to take us to knock that property out. So I gave her two separate prices, just like the other customer, but the pricing was right this time. So I priced high for the first initial cut, stated that it was overgrown, everything, this is going to take longer, this is the one-time rate, and if you decide to keep our services after that, then this will be the weekly rate. So that's what we did. We showed up a couple days later when we had room in our schedule. We knocked it out. She was happy, and now she wants us to come back and the following week and add her to our weekly rotation at the rate that I gave her. So again, lessons learned, money to be made, business growth. That's what it's all about. So I appreciate all the comments and all the advice that you guys shared on that previous video. I always appreciate everything you guys have to say, good, bad, or indifferent. It's all feedback nonetheless. So as always, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to keep trying new things and always be a rookie for life. Peace. While I was there